Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, germs, and critters. It's time for Bingo is Life, the podcast.
Should you say germs and critters?
Yes,
Critters and
I
germs,
did. You got to be inclusive these days. We're joined by the illustrious Howdy Shell brothers, Michael and Christopher. Christopher, am I saying that right?
You are.
Okay. We've got another guy whose name starts with those letters, so I wanted to make sure I didn't get him screwed up. We've got Christian Parrot, and we are coming to you from the Parrot Cave tonight.
That's right. That's right. Dun, dun,
The
dun, dun,
parrot
dun.
cave. Oh, that's why it's so quiet.
That's right.
The parrot cave stays quiet.
They get quiet when it gets dark. They're like chickens.
Are there parrot droppings in the parrot cave?
Oh, God, yeah. What do you think all that stuff is?
Oh, that's what the lumps are under the rug.
Sorry
okay.
about that. Yeah. I'm like Batman, but really not at all. Yeah.
I like it better.
Parrot cave is, yeah.
Because
He's
it's
like
like
Batman.
it's like the Jester's Cave, because you've got all these wonderful doodads and thingamabobs down here, treasures galore.
A lot of flags.
A lot of flags.
Very patriotic.
Well, it's...
Little Star Wars
They're
stuff
down here.
going on.
Yeah, Laurel and Hardy.
I've got the rainbow flag out front, and these guys down here. But we've got
He's a secret
Seahawks.
American.
Closeted American.
Yeah.
Guys, I really did not want to announce that to the world. Okay.
Yeah, he loves the Seattle Seahawks. What's going on?
He's got some old theater seats, a telescope, a full
yeah.
bar. This is the place to be.
Full bar.
Rudy's
poker
Arcade
table
is
right now.
having an
Yeah.
HVAC situation.
So what's going
So
on
they're
with
closed
the-
tonight.
Yeah, evidently their heating was not working, so they couldn't be open. So I went in there this evening to pick up the pod equipment, walked through
The
the
what?
door.
The pot
The
equipment?
podcast equipment. Yes. And immediately set off the alarm. So there was that. That was fun. Oh, really?
What does their alarm sound like?
You could never hear it over the
sounds like
machines.
it sounds like a disgusted teenager. So, anyways,
Like Tina Belcher.
I found Clancy, the manager of the arcade, and
That's
told
a fantastic name.
what happened, and we're fine.
Clancy
good.
O'Houlihan.
Did he tell
Stop
you
it.
just to go in
Really?
there, or
Okay.
you were just like, I'm going in?
Well, I went through the door, and as soon as I opened up the door, I heard, and I was like, "Oh, great!" So then I found Clancy immediately.
Good.
And anyways, long story short, thanks Rubies for being our sponsor. It's awesome.
Hey.
Yeah, go
Always.
there when they're open next.
Yes.
Help them pay off the HPAC bill because did I say HPAC bill?
You did.
You know,
It's a lovely town north of Strasbourg.
help
Welcome to
them
HBACville.
help them pay that off.
Yeah.
buy
And if they're
some pizzas.
closed, don't come here because I
No.
might not be awake.
The Parrot Cave is a private residence.
Before we introduce our guest,
How was bingo tonight?
We had a really interesting experience recording a live song.
We did.
At Restless Moons
Yes.
a couple weeks ago. Was it, or was it just a week ago? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Week ago.
and super fun. And Christian wasn't there,
I know.
That's right. That's right.
but everybody that was there, thank y'all so much. And we used this equipment to record, and
Learn some things.
and we learned some things. The song will officially be out on Christmas Day. So if you're
Aw.
looking for something to listen to on Christmas Day, it'll be on all the streaming services. Otherwise, you can just watch the video on YouTube. It's called "You Won't Believe Us," but it rained every day. It's a fun song. All right, and that, but
Really
all that recording.
Yeah, speaking of recording.
and that kind of brings us to our guest.
Yes.
So I first got introduced to our guest because he was running sound at Clementine Cafe,
Right.
and then later on I found out that he was actually running sound and recording at Blue Sprockets Sound, and believe I'm basically some of my favorite recordings ever were recorded by this guy. Everybody, our guest today is Mr. Gordon Davies. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome
Thanks
aboard.
thanks for having me. This is cool.
Yeah, no, it's so
Great
cool.
to be here.
And I'm not kidding. The "When We Die Alone," that song you recorded, I love that. I think you killed. You did such a good job of laying that out.
Oh, thanks. I listened. I listened back to that stuff not too long ago, and I really love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love it. In
was
fact, I have
very
like
live.
I basically. I mean, nowadays, like when you need like a little when you want to start working with someone and they want to hear what you've done, basically I have like a Spotify playlist of all things that I've done, and that's in there. That stuff is on my Spotify playlist. So when I direct people there, like, well, here are some things that I've done. They
He's
can
like,
go and they can
I even
hear
work
that.
with people like this.
Yeah. But there's like a vibe to those sessions that we did that's like really, really cool and special. Like I love it. And one of the things that I remember about it is that, we kind of did, when we recorded, we sort of had everybody play live together, but in like separate booths and things in isolated
With
spaces
headphones
in Blue Sprocket. But for your vocals, you just sort of, sang with your guitar plugged in and sang live through a 57. And we were trying to redo that. We did it as a scratch vocal or a reference vocal. And we were trying to redo that. And we were like, it just doesn't feel, can we just use the scratch? And I'm like, I'm like, we can make it work. And like, we ended up, that's what we kept. Like your initial pass with the $100 microphone instead of the $4,000 microphone was what ended up on the recording, and it's all part of the vibe.
Yeah.
You sound better with cheaper stuff.
Oh, thanks.
It compliments you well.
That's why we're his band.
So and that kind of brings me. So Gordon has been recording music with lots of different people here locally and abroad, away. So first, I kind of want to circle back though. How did you land in Harrisonburg? That's like.
Okay, I'll try and condense this. So I grew up in New York. I was born on Long Island, lived in New York City for a long time. Moved around a couple different places, but in like 2007, 2008, I was living in New Jersey, not too far outside of New York City, and most of my work was I had a little home studio there, but I was freelancing out of studios in New York City. And New York City used to have hundreds of recording studios. And as things tend to go in that city, the music industry basically slowly collapsed in New York. All the live music venues and recording studios basically got priced out because rents got so high that they could not conceivably keep their doors open. Even if a recording studio stayed booked 24 hours, 7 days a week, they couldn't make enough money to cover their rent and their expenses. So all these commercial studios where I, as a freelancer, would work started going out of business. So I was sort of in a position where I was like, you know what, New York is not really sustainable for me anymore. I need to kind of start looking for another place to live. And I had several friends out in California. I had a good friend in LA in the business, another good friend in San Diego in the business. And I went out there for 10 days on a trip to sort of check it out and see if I was going to move to California. And I made all these connections and I had set all this stuff up, and I even flew my bike out with me and like found places to ride. And I was like, okay, because I'm a big cyclist and I have to live somewhere where there's good mountain biking and good riding. So I sort of checked all these boxes. I went out on this California trip and I did a bunch of riding, and I made a bunch of connections and saw a bunch of studios and made some connections with friends. And it looked like I was like all set to move out to California. And my sort of backup plan was to have a few places on the East Coast where I wanted to just go and visit and check out. And I had been to Harrisonburg before. I'd come here for mountain bike races, and I'd come here for the festival, the Shenandoah Mountain Bike Festival years back. And I knew the town and I knew it was a cool place. And it was sort of on my list of 3 or 4 places, along with like, Pittsburgh and Asheville and Knoxville and some other places that I wanted to
Do you hear
visit.
that, Pittsburgh?
Yeah. And
Asheville.
So once I sort of had these lists of towns that were like cool, like small East Coast towns with good bike scenes, I was like, well, now let me look at those same towns and find out if there's, a music scene in a studio where I could work in any of them. And I found Blue Sprocket in Harrisonburg. And I'm like, wow, this place looks great, because I sort of grew up recording rock and roll and things like that. And I needed a studio. That's the kind of music I like to work with. Or just not rock and roll necessarily, but live music made by real people, not like hip hop and dance music.
Right.
And Blue Sprocket was set up with a great acoustic space and multiple isolation booths. I'm like, this is the kind of studio that I like to do the kind of work that I like to do in. And so I came down here and I met with Chris Jackson and hit it off with him. And then we talked a little bit about music education. I had developed audio education curriculum that I had taught in the New York area at several different studios, and they were interested in doing that. So I kind of had all these things that just worked, that clicked. And I was like, well, I could move out to the West Coast and start completely from scratch. And, my cost of living would be, astronomical in LA or San Francisco, or I could move to Harrisonburg, keep all my East Coast clients, stay near my friends and my family who are on the East Coast. Right. And I just started weighing all the options, and I was like, this just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So I moved down here. I started engineering at Blue Sprocket. We started doing my classes, which eventually got picked up by Bridgewater College, and I was teaching as an adjunct professor eventually through Bridgewater at Blue Sprocket. And that sort of led me, the first year that I was there engineering at Blue Sprocket, they asked me if I wanted to start running open mic. And I was never really a live sound guy much before then. I had done some, but it was never really my thing. And they asked me if I wanted to do it. I was like, it sounds like a low pressure kind of thing.
Sure.
And I came in and then that became like Ruby's Open Mic, the heyday of Ruby's Open Mic, when it was Michael Bowman running it, and it was every Wednesday, and like we just had huge crowds every week. Huge crowds. And Jody was booking the place at the time, and he would like find national touring acts that were like passing through on a Wednesday, and he would offer them a couple bucks, and we would have the John Stickley Trio play open mic, and then the next night they'd go and play the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it was just
Welcome
an
to
unbelievable time, and
cool.
and that sort of got me,
It really
into the live sound thing, and then Clementine asked me if I wanted to go upstairs and take over the live sound duties for the shows upstairs, which I did, and I've been doing it for almost 10 years now.
You still do that, correct?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Open mic has gone through various permutations and has stopped and started, and I've done it in a couple of other places. I did it for Ergie's in Bridgewater at one point, and I did it at Pale Fire at one point when they decided they weren't going to do it. But now it's back, and it's every other Wednesday at Clementine.
Every other Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It does take somebody like Jody, and it takes people to dump energy and money to make a scene happen.
Yeah.
And but when they do, it can be cool. It does. I mean, I feel like I talk a lot about Restless Moons because they are doing. They're
the Lord's
doing
work.
They're doing the Lord's work. Yeah, they're dumping some money on paying some local bands to do their things, and I know Clementine does that as well. So I mean, good luck everybody out there doing that.
Yeah. And I gotta say, when our band used to play Clementine, and I'm not bad mouthing. Well, I'm bad mouthing the old Clementine. That is a cavernous, treacherous space to run sound in, and we played couple of gigs there many moons ago, and it was rough because it was like, oh my gosh. And it wasn't that I dreaded when we had a Clementine gig, but I was like, I know that
you kind of never knew what to expect.
Never knew what to expect. And then I remember we were playing, we're setting up, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, sound check, bum 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 bum, and it's done. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we played the gig, and I was like, the sound is freaking amazing. And I was like, oh, it's because Gordon did it.
Thank you.
No, totally. It was night and day. And then I was like, I'm looking forward to playing this gig now. Whenever so yeah, that was a huge turning point in that space, I think, because the sound is so good.
Right. Yeah, I've gotten to. I mean, the number of amazing musical experiences that I've had in that room are just I can't even count.
Larry Keel, I mean, Lord, you can't name them all.
I would have to go down the list, but it's ridiculous. Some of the people that I've gotten to run sound for there. I mean, one of the craziest things is doing TR3, Tim Reynolds from the Dave Matthews Band, who's played there multiple times and has gotten to be I've worked with them so many times now that those guys are buds.
Yeah, that's right. So great.
And when Blue Sprocket was still open, I record everything there, and I would take it back, and I would mix a few songs and then send them out. And that's how we did the live album. We did some stuff from the live Clementine stuff from there.
And some of my favorite tracks. Yeah.
And so I did that for TR3 one time when they were there. And about a year after that, they contacted me and they're like, look, we love these recordings that you did. How would you feel about us releasing these as a live album? And I was like, I mean, I'd feel amazing about it. And they did. They put out a full show from Clementine that I had mixed. And all they did was take them and send them to their mastering engineer in Colorado. Like the mixes that I sent them,
Right.
Nice.
ended up being the album, and that album is out.
Very cool.
So in that
Wild
scenario,
in the Sky.
in that scenario with an artist that's bigger like that, do you get money, or is it more just like, hey,
Not on the back end for that, no, because it was never in the plan. Like they weren't planning on making a live album. They just had those recordings and decided, hey, these are really great.
Yeah.
We want to release them.
Yeah. That's cool.
No, I was just happy. I was happy to do it. I mean, I got paid to do the gig when I did it. And there was nothing on the back end.
So, do you still record the open mic and today? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I try
at any point years down the road, somebody goes, "Hey."
Yeah, I mean, there are some open mics that I eventually have to go through and clear out space on the hard drive because every time I record one, it's it's 3 hours of 16 tracks. Eventually, hard drives get full of that stuff if you do it every week.
Right.
But yeah, I still have some of that stuff archived, and most of the Clementine shows I have archived. So
that's cool.
A lot of music that I listen to for pleasure is like I go back and listen to shows that I've recorded there.
Right.
Cool.
And it's kind of cool because it's stuff that only I have, and and maybe the band if they have
sure.
And because sometimes I'll send the band. What I usually do is just as a courtesy is send the band a song or two from their set, and then sometimes they'll either have me mix pay me to mix the entire set for them because they like the way it comes out, or they'll circle back and they'll be like, hey, you want to go in the studio and do something. Right. So it's something I do for fun, but it's also like a marketing tip.
Yeah, sure.
Totally.
That's cool. One of my biggest regrets, you recorded us, the band Trouble in the Trailer Park, and there was one song that you sent out and said, hey, I captured this, and it was the Break My Spine. It was a scream. We had people swing on the rafters. It was super fun.
I remember that.
And it was my favorite recording of that band in that iteration of all time.
Really?
And I always regret saying, hey, did you get any more? Let's talk about that. I never did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look and see. There's a possibility that still exists.
Well,
He just erased it.
yeah, right. Just erased it yesterday.
Just erased it.
Yeah. I'm going to get this crap
If you
off
find
my
it,
hard drive.
talk to me. We can work something out.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 70s and 80s and even 90s, bootlegs and live recordings, those were the recordings to have. Those are the recordings that I listened to, like you're saying, for pleasure. And that kind of ability to be able to capture live recordings, it's making my ears prick up. I'm going like, maybe our band's next thing should be a live recording. That'd be really fun.
Well, when Old Crow Medicine Show came and played at Little Grill in 2000, I said I was going to record it.
Sure.
And I had a what was it? It was like a mini disc recorder.
Yeah. Mini disc.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I recorded
one of those.
I recorded on a mini disc, but right off of our little panel that we
Off
had.
the board,
yeah. And it sounded really good. And then just last year, Ketch called me because he heard that I had, and it was like, will you send that to me? And so my brother actually had it. And so I got it from him.
Unfortunately, it had been by that time turned into an MP3.
Yeah.
Which, the quality is much lower.
Degraded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I did give it to him. I've never heard it. I guess it was like their 20-year anniversary or something, and they were looking for old live stuff.
Yeah.
And it was. I was still like, here you go. I have this, and I thought it sounded
cool.
It was funny too because you hear it, and I think it was before Wagon Wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Was a popular song, and he's like, "This one's for Michelle Perry." You know?
Yeah, right.
And then they play Wagon Wheel, and no one's singing along.
Yeah, right.
No, you know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
Play Free Bird. Come on. What's this stuff?
Yeah.
Right?
Play
So
something we
crazy.
know. Come on.
It is. It's so interesting. But now, Gordon, I know you did sound for when we did our Paul Simon tribute show.
Yes.
You did the sound for that, which was phenomenal.
At
You
Little
did it
Grill,
At the
yeah.
Little Grill.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That was great. That was a great night.
Yeah, I just appreciate. I did not have a pro sound person do the sound for the Bob Dylan show, and boy, do I wish I had paid you to be that guy.
When did that? I forget timeline wise. When was the Bob? was it-
September 12th?
Oh, so
Yeah.
it was after the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And where was that?
At Court
At
Square.
Court Square.
Theater. You ever do
Oh.
anything at Court Square?
No, I've never run sound at Court Square.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
I've
What are we doing?
never done any. I've seen a bunch of shows there, but never actually worked there.
Well, speaking of where you've worked, though, I do want to hear this story. So you have worked with bands. You've been recording at Skywalker Ranch in California.
That's correct. Yes.
Good. That's cool.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. So, yeah.
He says, standing in front of
We're
him.
that close to George Lucas.
I have the sweatshirt. Yeah.
Do you really?
This is a Skywalker sweatshirt that I
And
Yeah.
that's where the little statue of Yoda is out there? Or is that no?
No, that's where Yoda lives.
No, there's
The guy.
He's real, damn it.
so Skywalker Ranch is George Lucas's massive piece of property that he bought and built a gigantic production facility on the property. It's in the mountains in Marin County, California. It is absolutely stunning. It's like paradise, and it's literally a compound. Like, there's no sign in the front. You have to they have to tell you where it is. You have to go. There's massive amounts of security.
Right.
You have to sign an NDA to get on the property. There's all sorts of rules, and but the place is.
If you ever have children, are they now his?
It's yeah, exactly.
And they don't give you an
Just
address.
the first one. Just the
They,
first
um,
one.
They don't give you an address. They just give you coordinates.
But the place is Shangri-La.
I can
It's
imagine.
literally everything is no expense spared.
Yeah.
It's like every single thing is perfect and beautiful
Yeah.
and vibey, and every last detail is thought out. I mean, the
that's
recording
cool.
studio itself is stunning. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
it's mainly designed. They call it the scoring stage, and that's basically what it is.
Yeah,
It's where all the music, all the orchestral music for pretty much any movie you can name in the
Right.
past, 35 years has been recorded. Every
Right.
Star Wars movie, every Pixar movie,
Yep.
Every James Cameron blockbuster. I mean, you name it. It's the scores have been recorded there.
John Williams has
Yeah, John,
is a
yeah.
regular.
So okay, all that. What are you doing there?
So
Dr. Howe.
So
sure.
one of my good friends and my sometime production partner of mine, Josh Insel, who used to be my friend and from Maryland, and I worked with him a lot. He had a studio there. He would record bands and hire me to come and mix them at his studio. He ended up. This is a wild connection. So when Blue Sprocket got their AMAC 9098 console in, I want to say 2019 is when they got 2018 or 2019.
Okay.
My friend Josh bought the Neve console that they had in there previously, which is the console that was there when I first started working there. And he then moved out to California. Bought that console, moved out to California, set it up in his house, in his home studio.
Nice.
Okay, so I now, instead of going to his place in Maryland to record things, he records things and has me go out and mix out there. So
Gotcha.
he had been out there in Northern California for a couple years and had made some connections and met somebody that owned a rental company that supplied rental gear to Skywalker Sound. And I was out there on vacation just hanging out one time, and he arranged a tour through this guy. You have to kind of know somebody
Yeah.
to get you in there.
Yeah.
And so I went in there and we took a tour of the place. And it was just, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was so unbelievable. We walked out of there and we met Leslie Ann Jones, who's the chief engineer there, legendary, multi-Grammy winning engineer, and has been running that place forever, the studio part of it. And just couldn't believe the place. And we had lunch there. The food is all gourmet. They make their own wine. They grow their own. Everything they have there. Everything they have there is grown. The wine is from their vineyards. The food is from their organic farm. All the produce is from their organic farm. Like everything you get at the restaurant there is made. It was made
fresh
on the premises.
Chewbacca steaks.
So we go to the studio, and the studio is this unbelievably gigantic room with an incredible Neve console and every piece of gear you can imagine. And we walk out of there going like, how incredible would it be to record something here? And and then of course our second thought would be like, it's got to be $10,000 a day to go in and record. Yeah. So I'm like, just for kicks, I'm like, at some point, follow up with these guys and just find out how much it costs to record here. So a couple months later, Josh gets back to me and he's like, I talked to them about pricing, and if we brought something in and it wasn't for a label and it was on off time, like they'd actually give us a really, really good rate.
What?
And I'm like, well, what constitutes a good rate? And they're like, not much, no more than you would pay to go into any other like Worldcast recording studio. Yeah. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Wow. So then, of course, the wheels started spinning. Like, okay, well, who can we get in? Who can we get in? Yeah. And
Dr. Howe was busy. So.
It was a busy weekend. That was rough. That was rough.
Right? Yeah, I think you guys had a gig at Restless Moons that weekend.
That's it. And that's pretty much all. That's where we
couldn't make it out.
But no, that was just as quick lunch when it was open. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that was
So anyway, we got our good mutual friend Andy Westcott, who's an unbelievable singer, songwriter, guitar player, who is our mutual friend from Maryland when we all lived there. And now he lives in Key West, Florida, and he has a band in Key West, Florida, and he's got a bunch of original material. And we talked to him, and he had the time and the money to do it, and we all managed to arrange it. We got out and we did 5 days of recording out at Skywalker.
That's awesome.
And made an album in 5 days.
Is this an album we can find?
Yes, absolutely. It's on Spotify. It's called it's the Andy Westcott Band, and the album is called The Power of Seven.
We will put it in the notes.
Absolutely.
And it's a great record.
Okay, cool.
It's one of those records, like every song on the record is great. You can listen to the whole thing all the way.
I'm assuming that the energy of I can't believe we're here. I'm sure that kind of gets through. Yeah.
I mean, the place is so gorgeous and relaxing, and they cater so heavily to clients. Yeah. And most of the clients they have there are like these big shots. And the crazy thing was it had been a long time. They had done rock and roll records there, but it's not a big part of their business.
Sure.
It's mostly orchestral stuff, scoring, film scores, TV scores, things like that. And then like sometimes Broadway soundtracks and things like that. Yeah. So when we came there, we somehow managed to bring this like rock and roll energy to this place that they weren't accustomed to.
That's awesome.
And they really, really liked it.
Yeah, change up.
So when we got out of there, I mean, we managed to like straddle the line between like not being like rock and roll ass. We didn't trash the place. Yeah. We were very respectful and cool, but we also had this like kind of fun, rock and roll energy. So a couple months after that, they got back to us and were like, look, you guys, we loved having you guys here. If you guys ever want to come back, we would love to like embed a film crew with you guys. Oh, wow. And, we'll shoot a bunch of like behind the scenes footage of you guys doing the recording, and we'll use it for our promotional material, but we'll share it with you guys. And then you guys can use it for promotional stuff too. And we're like, oh my God, now we have to go back. So a couple months, like a year later, after we did the first one, we found out all this stuff and we got it together and got back in and did 4 more songs. And when we were getting ready to go back in, they told us that the film crew that they were putting us in putting in with us was basically like the lead guys from Industrial Light and Magic. It's like they're bringing in the film crew from Industrial Light and Magic. They just got, these are the guys that just got done doing like digitizing Kiss. Like after Kiss was like, they like digitized all Kiss's avatars and made like online avatars for Kiss in digital. Like these are the guys that did that. And they're the guys that are going to come shoot our behind the scenes footage. So we're like, holy shit. Like, how is this even happening?
Where do we see that footage? Is that online somewhere?
Yes, you can see this is all on YouTube. If you go to Andy Westcott Band on YouTube, you can see the footage that these guys shot from Skywalker.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So we did 4 more songs and shot it with the guys from Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah,
I mean, those are two
crazy.
Skywalker Sound and ILM. You get those are the gold standard.
Yeah,
You can't-
absolutely.
it's like- you can't get better than that.
Yeah,
That's great.
it was an unbelievable experience. And then while we were out there, George Lucas has a house on the property. He lives in Marin County, like maybe half an hour from there, but he doesn't live on the property. But he has a place that when he does go there, he's got they call it the main house. But the main house
That's right, they do.
The main house is a gallery of unbelievable movie memorabilia
of course,
and art.
Yeah.
So there are things in there like I got to go up and you need to be a client there to even take this tour. Like you can't even, like when we did the tour initially, we didn't get to see this house. You have to be like working there, like a paid client to get a tour of this place. And they gave us a tour, and you go in there.
Are you allowed to talk about this? Right
you know what? I might be getting into some trouble. Maybe. No joke. I might.
He's building an actual Death Star, guys. You heard it here first.
I will say that there is some memorabilia that like people would kill and die to get like fanboys. If they saw some of the stuff that I saw in here, like.
Wow,
incredible things that you've seen in a million movies.
Yeah, right.
You know, plus an unbelievable collection of artwork.
Yeah, sure.
And like rare, like crazy antique furniture and stuff. Like just stuff that leaves you just with your jaw on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's one room that's all crates.
It was an unbelievable experience.
And then the security
There's
system
files.
is this giant round ball, just stone that just rolls through the hallways to clear them out.
And as you get closer, they ask for your security clearance, and someone inevitably says, "Well, it's an older code, but I was going to let them through."
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I will mention I'm not going to. A couple.
You saw the ball?
Not the ball. Not the ball. The Golden Idol. The Golden Idol.
Oh, yeah.
Indy's hat. And Indy's whip.
The whip.
Right there behind the glass.
We have to take a break.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt the podcast, but there was definitely a break needed to recover from such a huge nerd moment. Whew. Now, back to the discussion.
So
we're gonna need new chairs at the poker table.
fanboys drooling, yes. And that's what it was like for me. I mean, I was like, you know, it's unbelievable. Yeah, amazing experience. Yeah,
I wonder
it's
how
really
many hats
incredible.
they used, though. Like, have that hat.
Only one.
No, I
mean-
think I read that. I think
only used one?
there was 3.
Okay, yeah.
I think there were 3.
Because, like,
I
one
mean,
got run over by a tank. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Oh,
on.
also the Shankara stones were there from movie 2.
Of course.
The crystal skull was there. Yeah, all
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Monkey brain.
All right, so
yeah.
bring it.
Can I go back farther?
Yeah.
So what? Instead of how did you get to Harrisonburg? How did you decide or find music and the technology that's the recording music? How did you land there?
You know, I was like, I was one of these underachievers in high school.
Okay.
Kind of never knew what I wanted to do. You know, pretty much a up in high school and college. I'm allowed to swear, right?
Yeah,
sure,
Okay,
sure,
good.
right.
We have equipment for
I
that.
assumed. Yeah.
Beepers.
Yeah, you got the 7-second delay on. Yeah. And I graduated high school with like a D average and went away to a SUNY school upstate, that mostly from animal husbandry majors, but I was taking business courses and hated it. And
Yes,
didn't know
okay.
what the hell I was doing or wanted to do, or I was always a huge music fan, and I was always like a stereo geek. I used to like geek out on stereo equipment. Somehow I managed to never put two and two together until I failed out of college my first semester. And one of my best friends, who is a fantastic guitar player, was going to school at a place on Long Island called Five Towns College. And they had an audio engineering program, and he told me about it. He's like, well, they got this audio engineering thing here. He's like, he was going to school for jazz and commercial music and studying guitar. And he's like, at Five Towns, they have this audio engineering program. He's like, you've always loved music and you've loved stereos, so, why don't you come check that out?
Yeah.
And I came home from my, after disastrously failing out of school after one semester and not knowing what the hell I was going to do. And I went and took a tour, and I went over there and I walked into the studio for the first time, and I saw all the gear, and I was like, this is home.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, right.
It's so scary when you see all those knobs. And
everything like that, just finding something that I knew that I was going to love and did love, turned everything around for me. That was like suddenly I went from a D student to an A student.
I was gonna say, did you become a part of that program?
I took the program there, and ironically, it was a lot of the same business courses that I failed out of at my first semester. But I was also taking concentration in audio engineering, and I knew I had to do well in these courses.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I just got serious about it. Buckled down, studied. I knew that it mattered enough for me to get good at this one thing for me to have to get, at least passably get through these other things. Yeah. And, just threw myself into it 100%.
That's cool.
And just turned into that, took an internship right after that in my first studio, and then internship turned into an assistant engineering gig, which turned into a first engineering gig, which turned into eventually moving into New York City and starting at the bottom again in New York City after working at after being a big fish in a small pond out on Long Island, moving into being a small fish in a big pond in New York City and working my way back up again through the same process, lowly intern cleaning garbage can at the graveyard shift, for starters. Reading the manual for the SSL console on the train to and from the graveyard shift. And then, working my way up to an assistant engineer, to an engineer, to, doing production and getting my own clients. And
my favorite people are those that find a way to match creativity with technology. And there's just some interesting things that can happen there, I think. And it also, my understanding of music history as far as just recording has gone, it seems like technology always pushes music into the next, direction, wherever it is. And it's always fascinating. I've never been good at it. I've just, I've always just been interested in it, but it fascinates me.
It's a really, really interesting subject because, music is about emotion and feeling and self-expression. And technology sometimes can get in the way of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
So, being in my position, being someone who has a background in doing music and, because I play drums and sing and written songs and released albums and like that. But then doing the technical side, doing the engineering and production side, you have to walk this line between knowing where, when is technology enhancing what you're doing, and when is it? When are you overly relying on it, or when are you when are you dehumanizing it? I mean, look at where we are now with AI and AI music. I mean, you don't even human beings are no longer required.
Well, I can remember going to a studio and the guy was like, oh, Mariana was struggling getting the solo on her violin, and he goes, "Don't worry, I can just punch it in. We can do it a couple notes at a time." And I remember thinking, no, no, I know what he's saying, but
you wanted to capture live energy.
I want to capture the live energy of it. And if there's a little bit of a mistake there's a little bit of a mistake there. But now that's me. Now there are plenty of other people.
We can just punch in the tones and these sounds of the violin, and it will sound like a real song, like a real person is playing the violin.
Well, I think that in working with you in a studio and recording, I think one of the things you do well, because there's a director aspect to what you do as well.
Absolutely.
100%.
Especially when it's a group of herding cats. But not that I have any experience in that. But I always liked that it felt like you did a really good job at removing the barrier or not, getting rid of any sort of barrier between the art that was happening and the technology required to make it capture.
100%.
Yeah. And I've always thought that was one of the best things you do.
I mean, one of the things I always fall back on is, people have asked me, like, what does it take to be good at this job? And before I even talk about the technical aspects of it, it's you have to be good with people.
Sure.
It's a very much a people person's job.
Right.
You have to be able to talk to people, relate to people, understand where people are coming from personally and with their art. What are they trying to accomplish? Your job shouldn't be to mold the artist into something. Your job should be to listen to the artist, find out what it is that they want to put across, and what can you do to further that?
Right.
How do you have to alter your communication, and how do you have to set people up in the studio so they can see and hear each other in a way that's going to allow them to bring out their best?
Right.
That's awesome.
That aspect of it that's the most important aspect of it, because to me the sound, as much as I love the sound and geek out over all the sound aspects, the music matters the most.
Sure.
Like, what would you rather have? A pristine, beautiful recording of a sterile, uninspired performance, or a rough, sort of, kind of dirty sounding recording of a amazing, inspired performance?
Right.
It's not even a contest, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing you got to focus on getting the second part first. You got to focus on getting the music, and the performance should always be primary, and then the sound, the sonics. You have to work the sonics around whatever it's going to take to capture that performance.
Right.
I just remember working. Oh, sorry, Chris.
No, you go ahead.
Might be what I was going to say. I remember because I've been I've been a part of a number of recording sessions, and to be frank, some of them have been a little bit of a drag when it's been...
I do my best, okay?
God, what a taskmaster. When it's... I've been with technically brilliant people that unfortunately fell into the first camp that you were talking about, where it's like, oh, all of a sudden my band or my group is fitting this person's vision. And technically it was cool, but like, oh my gosh, it was a chore to go through.
Right.
And I remember sitting in the mixing room with you where we're first going over rough mixes and everything like that. And it was just fun because I was like, oh, this is another extreme. Mike's making faces at me. This is an extremely talented artist that we're working with. This isn't a technician. This is someone who is as much, if not more, of a extremely talented musician that we are. It's just his instrument is what he's mixing with right now. And that was just such a joy. And I just remember it was so much fun. When the end of the session was, we didn't want to leave. We were like, can we just hang out? This is really cool. So,
because the speakers
so
are so darn good in those studios too. Yeah.
It should be fun. That's the
oh man,
that's the thing. It's got to be fun. If it's not, I'll actually pull the plug on a session sometimes, or at least temporarily say like, look, let's take a break. If people are getting stressed out and like they're not getting the performance they want, be like, look, let's step away from this for a bit, because you can get into this mode where you're hyper focused and you're just doing things over and over and over again, and after a while you're losing the feeling of it, and you're like, okay, look, let's step away from this, move on to another song, or take a break. Let's go out, get some fresh air, get some lunch, come back. Like, you got to know.
Wow.
You really have to be able to read what's going on.
That kind of sends me to another place. Like right now, are you recording at your house in Kieseltown? Is that still happening?
I moved out of Kieseltown.
Okay.
I have a house out in Briary Branch now.
Yeah. I love
yeah.
the branch.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
But it's a
no
yeah.
recording.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh,
no.
yeah.
Oh no. My studio is fully set up to
is.
track bands in my house.
Ah.
That's. I mean,
It seems
one of the reasons
right,
why
doesn't
it took me so long to find a place is because, when I'm looking for a cool place to live, I got to like be out by the mountain bike trails and stuff,
Yeah,
of course.
absolutely, yeah.
But
Where it's quiet.
so it's great. I got to be somewhere where it's quiet
Next to the fireworks.
But
factory.
I have to find a place that's A, affordable, and B, that's set up in a way where I can set up a studio.
Yeah, sure.
To not just a studio, because anybody can set up like a little control room in a bedroom, but I've got live drums, and I want to be able to get like a good, like live Led Zeppelin-y kind of
Gotcha.
drum sound.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like I need a room that's got good acoustics, or at least I can that I can manipulate.
We're
into
just
being
going to give you some money.
Yeah.
That's what's I
So,
feel it.
so I found
I got a
that.
really good feeling.
I found that, and I've got a great little house out there with a great house drum kit, and it's set up to record, to record a whole band at once.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah. So I'm doing stuff out of my house in addition to like.
Is there a website that we can tag on here?
There isn't. I just have. I mean, people. I don't know. Do people even do websites anymore? I guess they do.
I don't know. Well,
Everything
yeah.
is just so social media based that like it's all. Yeah, I mean, I have a Facebook page that's Single Track Audio.
Okay.
Is
Single
my
Track
Facebook
Audio.
page, and it's
And
got
let's post
pictures of the
just
studio.
Gordon's address and his
Sure,
telephone
sure.
number and why not his social security number too.
Well,
Especially.
sadly, this has been such a good conversation, but
I
we
know,
do
right?
have to kind of wind it down. I had another one of you were talking about New York City in the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you work with then? Is there somebody that sticks out that you were like, oh man?
Well, coming up. I mean, I worked at some interesting studio. I worked at a bunch of different studios in New York City, and a lot of what was going on in New York at the time, R&B and hip hop was big. So I worked with De La Soul. I worked on De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising.
What?
I worked on what the hell? EPMD, Strictly Business, which is like a big seminal hip hop record. I worked with like a bunch of remixes for like Oingo Boingo and New Order and stuff like that. So a lot of that stuff.
Some sweet name dropping going on.
Lord.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of it.
Back in the day, like a lot of that stuff. Elliot Randall from Steely Dan, I did something with him. Yeah, he had his own band called the Fat City Band, like which was like blues rock. It was like totally relatively unremarkable.
That's what he does for vacation.
But like I'm like, wow, this is the guy that played the solo on Reelin' in the Years. I'm like hanging out in the room with him. I'm like, this is really cool. I think.
I also want to throw out there that you are doing that stage at Red Wing. You also run the sound. What is?
I run the Hill Stage.
The Hill Stage.
I run the Hill Stage.
And it is by far. If you make the trek out to the Hill Stage, it's such a gem.
It's
It's
the
its
best.
own thing.
It's
so
own
cool.
thing out there, and I really appreciate. I love seeing you there, but I also just love the vibe that they've decided to create out there.
I love that gig so much. I look for that's one of the best weekends of my year.
Cool.
I love Red Wing. I love all the guys involved in it. It's such a great festival. The vibe at that festival is so cool. And that little stage, I'm actually the only person that's not part of Southern Audio. Southern Audio handles all the audio for the entire festival. I'm the only person that doesn't work actually for Southern Audio that they brought in. They brought me in when they built that stage and asked me to run it, and I've run it ever since.
That's
amazing.
And it's an absolute joy to do. The vibe back there is superb.
Yeah.
The artists that play on that stage are always wonderful. The vibe is just incredible, and the space is great. People love it. I love being out there. My friend Nate Schultz that does it with me every year is great. And I love that gig. I love it. I look forward to it so much every year.
Well, I just want to as we're wrapping it up here, I want to say you're doing it, bud.
Yeah, man.
I mean, really, really, you are doing something that so many people wish they could be doing, which is kind of following their dream and making great music, meeting interesting folks. And
Can I ask like what you're looking forward to in the next year, 2, 10?
Wow, that's tough to say. Well, right now I'm in the middle of mixing a record for a band out of the Charlottesville area called Very Fine Company, which is a really cool female-fronted alternative rock band that are great. This record I'm super excited about. I'm in the final stages of mixing that right now. So that's sort of what my focus is at the moment, is trying to get that done and out before the end of the year. And that was interesting because they wanted to record in the rehearsal space, so my gear is portable. I have a portable version of my gear, so I took like a 16-track recording setup and set up in their rehearsal studio and recorded them live in the rehearsal studio, and brought everything back and mixing it at home, which was a cool way to work.
Yes, that is cool.
But I've got an artist that I worked with out in California last year named Mindy Miller, who is a contestant on The Voice right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Who made it into the final 10 of this season of The Voice. The final episode is tonight.
Wow.
And I think she's doing something. She made it to the final 10 but didn't make it into the finals, but I think she's coming back to maybe do something tonight. So
very
I'm
cool.
taping it. Maybe it'll be on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's like, blowing up because she's on The Voice, and she's an amazing singer-songwriter, again, from my Maryland days.
Yeah.
And I've got some new music coming out with her, a couple singles that have already been recorded that are going to come out as soon as she's contractually allowed to release music from The Voice.
Yeah.
And then we are probably going back out to the record plant in Sausalito, which is now Studio 2200, to record more with Mindy in March. So I'm very much looking forward to that. She's amazing. She is like a truly great singer-songwriter. So I'm super excited about that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how cool is it to have you in Harrisonburg, man?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so cool.
This community has been so welcome. I love the music community here.
Yeah.
I've met so many wonderful people.
I should drop some love for the Judy Chops.
My peeps.
yeah.
I love the Chops.
They're playing on New Year's with Southern Culture on the Skids.
That's
going to be a fun show
that
over
will
in
be
Charlottesville at the Southern.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
And Bill Howard's going to get there.
I love the Chops.
He's going to learn how to play guitar someday.
Yeah, one day.
He's
One
gonna,
day.
He's going to be okay.
Bill,
I think,
Bill, we believe in you, Bill.
Yeah, those guys, they're the best. I'm they've become very good friends, of course, and I've worked with them a lot. They're the best. Yeah,
Well,
but the whole community here is great. I've met so many wonderful people and so many great artists, and I'm super excited about it. Super
Very
excited
cool.
about just being here and being part of it.
Well, thanks again for being here this evening.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really been
Absolutely.
fun. It's been super fun.
Big thanks to Ruby's Arcade for being our sponsor.
Yeah.
We will be back at Ruby's Arcade for bingo.
January 6th.
January 6th.
Ooh.
It's going to be
So we've
several
got
weeks.
we've got
We got
a
several
few
weeks off.
Yeah.
few weeks off for the holidays.
Last open mic of the year tomorrow night.
Is that right?
At Clementine.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Open mic at Clementine tomorrow night. Come down, play some tunes.
Awesome.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I have a quick Thursday plug, too.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, it's totally unrelated to what we're talking about.
Perfect.
So I thought I'd save it
Bring
till the
it.
end so you could just chop it out if you decide to do so.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday
Yes,
at
Thursday.
Court Square Theater, we have a world premiere documentary of Ola Paisano. And it was made locally by Jess Daddio and Mariana, whose name I cannot remember her last name. And
I love Jess. Jess is great.
Yeah, and Sarah has a middle name hyphenated, and her last name is Gorman. You may know her as the Friendly City Foodie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they've made a documentary about the El Paisano Bakery. And yes, I realize I just said the El, which is probably just terrible grammar.
I saw a promo for that. Okay, yeah, that looks really cool.
And I think
Thursday.
Yep, I believe it's going to be sold out because it is filling up. And hopefully we have a good crowd. The documentary is about 20 minutes long. They started filming it in like the beginning of 2024, going into the situation being like, we're going to tell the story of a local family, a local business, talk about some delicious baked goods, and a lot's changed since the winter of 2024. And the fact that they've been filming this whole time, they've captured that story as well. they capture some of the footage of one of the marches that happened in Harrisonburg with the Hispanic Latino community, which had a beautiful turnout, and they got some beautiful footage from that event, which, like I said, they went in to tell the story of a bakery, and it became much, much more. So
very cool.
It's a 20-minute documentary, but it goes a long way. So if you don't catch the show on Thursday, hopefully you'll get to see it in another way.
Very cool.
Yeah, and
awesome.
be safe out there.
Yep.
Cheers.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks again, Gordon.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is really a blast.
And
Had a great time.
everybody, have a great holiday. We're gonna keep putting out episodes.
Yeah, we've got a couple green episodes. An interview with our father at
Yes.
one point.
Watch out.
Look out. It's coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Thanks everybody. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Good night. Take it easy.
Nighty-night.
Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers Howdeshell and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.